I've also obtained an acquittal in a child abuse case where an infant had died, and the death of the infant was somewhat inexplicable, but ultimately my client was charged in relation to the death. My client would have been charged for murder, but for the fact that the coroner came back inconclusive as to cause of death. But the child had marks on his body, and my client had admitted to using a belt to discipline the child. And there were markings on the body that appeared to be consistent with a belt having been used. Now, using a belt to discipline a child is not necessarily consistent with child abuse, but when a child dies, you can bet that the prosecution is going to take those charges very seriously. And my client was facing 27 years in prison when we went to trial, and the prosecutor made no offer on the case because the prosecutor believed that my client had killed the child. Well, at trial, it came out that the child had fallen out of a tree 2 days before he died, and that he hit his head, and that the mother never took the child to the hospital because they didn't have medical insurance, and she thought he was okay. Well, that was enough in this situation to convince the jury that the state wasn't able to prove the charge of felony child abuse, and my client was acquitted of felony child abuse charges.